Hello and welcome to the 998 Podcast. I'm Joel, your host today, and with me, of course, is the 998 boys, Geordie and Dicko. How are you both today?
Yeah, not bad.
Good.
Good.
Better now that this man is in front of me.
Well, we'll see if you're saying that at the end of the podcast, shall we? First off, would you like to tell the people who you support?
Go on.
I support Bournemouth, the best team on the South Coast. Pretty easy.
I am a Fulham FC fan. There's only one club in London.
Chelsea.
And I'm actually the real supporter of the best team on the South Coast, which is Southampton. But now we've got that out of the way, shall we begin?
Yeah.
We shall.
Let's get into it.
Yeah, right. So today we're going to be talking about all things football. And to start off, we're going to be talking about the all-time Prem 11s. We're going to talk through this position by position. So, Geordie, we'll start with you.
Okay, so in goal, there's 3, but I've gone
Yeah, there's 3.
for Van der Sar.
Interesting.
Now, it was between Cech and Van der Sar for me, and Van der Sar pulls on my heartstrings a little bit more. But I just think he was absolutely unbelievable, and the quality of strikers that he was coming up against. And, I mean, Cech was obviously in the same era, but for me, when he had that head injury and he was gone for a while, Van der Sar was still unbelievable. So
I've gone for
me,
Petr Cech.
Yeah.
I have gone for Petr Cech.
You've gone for the other.
Yeah. I don't think there's really much debate here. You could go for either or. So
I think so too. And
I think it's one of the
third,
positions where you can't really argue. Who's your third? David De Gea?
Nah, maybe Alisson. And to be fair, this was
not
Joel.
bad.
Joel put this in my brain, I can't lie.
I'd argue, as good as he is, he's only got 1 Prem title, so I can't put him above Van der Sar.
How long has he been at Liverpool now?
Or De Gea. 5 or 6 years.
Yeah,
Soon to be 2 titles, though, isn't it?
that's true.
Yeah, hopefully.
Unless they choke.
But yeah.
No one's even said Schmeichel. I mean, he's a bit before our time, but Schmeichel deserves a shout out.
I
here.
think that's why.
Did he play in the Premier League?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
He did,
Or was it the old First Division? I could be wrong here.
No, it was Premier League.
Okay,
Yeah.
a bit
He was
before my
part of that
time.
Classic United side.
I probably wasn't even born when he was playing.
Which
so
is why I
can't
also
include him.
didn't pick him. He's just a little bit too...
But Petr Cech was part of the defence that conceded the least amount of goals. So it's pretty hard to argue against him.
I think Geordie's Fulham bias as well is
Has
playing
one
with the
Van der
Van
Sar.
der Sar. So
Who would you go for, Joel? Who's Joel?
Forever
I
Fulham
think
award.
to put in our 998 team, our goalkeeper is going to be Petr Cech.
1-0!
That's fine. I
1-0.
can't say now about
He's
that.
going on the list.
Okay.
So next up, we're going to talk about defenders.
Yep.
Are we going to talk about? We should reveal our whole back four.
Yeah, I think
Let's do it right. No, let's do it one by one, I reckon.
Okay, we'll start with right backs. Best Premier League right back of all time. Who do you think?
Am I going...
Yeah,
We'll
you
go
can
for
go
Di-
for it. Or I can go for you. Want me
Go
to
on
go
then. Yeah,
first?
go on,
Yeah.
Dicko. Go on.
Kyle Walker.
Kyle Walker.
See, everyone will be like, "Oh my God, he's gonna be him." He's washed. Okay, maybe in the last 6 months he was washed, but that guy has won so many Prem titles and locked out so many wingers. Everyone, okay, nostalgia moments come in. Going to say Gary Neville.
Yeah, I mean, I've
but
got Neville.
Ivanovic is up there, but Kyle Walker for me. He's won so many titles and locked off so many big wingers. It's hard to argue with him, and I think the last 6 months overshadows his whole legacy of what player he was. So I've gone Kyle Walker at right back.
I did have Kyle Walker, but I scribbled him out, and I did put Neville, just for a little bit of an alternative opinion. He did also block out some absolutely incredible wingers from the old school Premier League.
I'd say the only thing I'd say about Neville, I think having Rio Ferdinand and Vidic next to you does help you out quite a lot. But Walker also had,
which would bring me onto my centre back choice next.
Oh, so who are we picking in the 998 team at right back?
back. I mean,
Joel, who are you picking?
I think again, it's a tough one. I think I'd probably have to say, if I go Gary Neville, I think might have to nick it. I do think Walker.
I think it's close. I think
It's
that's
up
fair enough.
there. But if you take his pace away, do you think he's the same?
Yeah, but that's like no. Let's not. That's like saying Henry if you take away his goals.
I guess so.
Well, he only had like 26 goals.
All right,
didn't he?
Shearer. If I take away Shearer's goals
In a season.
yeah, exactly. So I don't think you can say Kyle Walker pace if you take it away.
To
So
be honest, they're both part of very successful teams in City and United. I do think you may have people coming for you in the comments, Dicko.
Me?
Particularly United fans.
yeah, I mean, it's a
annoying.
toss-up, 50-50 for me.
What
but
side of Manchester are you picking? Blue or
I'm
red?
happy with Gary Neville in the team. He
We're
was
happy
my
with Gary
second.
Neville.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
we're
happy
going
with
to
Gary
go
Neville.
Gary Neville, as he is great on Sky as well, isn't he? Great
That's true, yeah, we'll give him...
Okay.
Walker's
now,
got a bit of a case on him as well, doesn't he?
we're going to go for... Geordie said he wants to go on to our centre-backs. So let's talk about your centre-back pairing.
Yes. Okay, my pairing is Ferdinand and Van Dijk.
You just had the most generational stinker ever. How is John Terry not one of your centre-backs?
Because I hate Chelsea.
Yeah, but you
And I
can't
looked at
do it
John
on the fact
Terry,
you hate Chelsea.
And I thought Van Dijk,
Van
Terry.
Dijk, one Premier League title, Van Dijk has just beaten John Terry.
Yeah, but come on. Also, Champions
Don't get me
League
wrong, Van
winning-
Dijk's...
Oh, yeah.
How many did you...
Right, fair enough. I realise what I just said.
John Terry
Slap.
and Rio Ferdinand are the only right answers.
I can't really
Okay, Van
argue
Dijk
with
is
it.
up there. Van Dijk is up there. Sol Campbell could be up there. But for me, the two best, John Terry... Vidic could be... No.
Shit.
Rio Ferdinand.
Vidic won PFA Player of the Year award, I'm pretty sure.
Vidic. Oh, I should have
He
gone
was-
Vidic.
You
An
can't
absolute
not
madman.
include John Terry. Mr. Premier League.
I do have to agree with Dicko here. I do think Terry...
I hate
How
him.
can you not?
is
It doesn't
gonna
matter if you
have
hate
to
him.
take up-
He,
I
unreal.
refuse to put him in
So
there.
I've gone for John Terry and Rio Ferdinand, and the fact that England at a time had those two at centre backs
That's fair enough.
is a joke. And Gary Neville, by the way.
And we
But
still won nothing.
I actually put Vidic
Yeah.
above Van Dijk, so I don't know why I've put Van Dijk in my team.
Van Dijk, he's up there, but okay, he might get the second one, but
And a
I
Champions
think
League,
just
but yeah.
Terry and Rio, it's pretty hard to
I
argue
think
those.
also you got to think, Terry and Ferdinand were playing in a different era. I think Van Dijk is a more modern centre back. But
Yeah.
in terms of success in the Premier League, I think Rio Ferdinand.
Yeah,
and
imagine
John
blocking
Terry-
out
The success.
Drogba, Rooney, Shearer.
Well, Rio wouldn't block out Rooney, but
That's true.
Terry
Van Dijk could stick him in his
Terry
pocket,
towards the
you
end of the
never
career
know.
kind of played in some of the newer era. Okay, maybe not that.
What, for
newer.
Villa?
No, when he was at Chelsea.
When
in-
Tom Kearney put him on his ass at Wembley.
I can't remember. But for me, it's Terry and Rio are my two centre backs.
I think Terry and Rio, as much as it's going to annoy Geordie, I do think Terry is going to have to be in
Yeah, whatever.
Who did you say? Van Dijk and?
I said Van Dijk and Ferdinand, but Van Dijk I already want to remove and put Vidic in
I think
there.
Van Dijk's up there. No, I don't think Van
I don't
Dijk's
think he's
an
not
awful
up
shout.
there, but
I think Van Dijk's
yeah.
better than Vidic.
Van Dijk also left Southampton like a twat, so I'm definitely going to exclude him.
Just wanted to go to a big club.
Southampton's a big club. Right, anyway, we're moving on to left backs.
One answer for me,
Yep, one answer.
Ashley Cole.
Yep, Ashley Cole.
Yeah,
Ashley Cole.
nice and easy.
Let's move on
We're not even going
swiftly.
to debate that topic, Patrice. Evra.
No.
Evra was very good, but I
Let's
don't.
not be silly.
Mate, Ashley Cole.
Let's
What
not.
was it? I've
Ashley
got a
Cole,
note here.
again, part of that.
147 clean sheets. Ashley Cole at
And it was with
Chelsea.
John Terry.
147
That's a lot
clean
of clean
sheets
sheets.
as a left back is
That is
decent.
impressive.
Well, you wouldn't get a clean sheet if you weren't a left back, would you?
Well, that's very true, but
But attackingly as well. And again, it's just Ashley. I don't think there's another answer.
I think you're right, to be honest. I'm trying to think off the top of my head if there's
I
anyone in the
can't.
modern game right now.
Modern game, no.
Touches him.
nowhere
not
near.
really, is there?
I think left backs and right backs are pretty far and few between at the
Yeah.
moment. Like other than Walker,
Not a recent right back.
Marcelo
Trent.
maybe
Trent.
an outlandish.
I mean, Marcelo.
Shout.
Yeah, Marcelo
Also played
did really do well in the Premier
Oh
League.
shit! Yeah,
Yeah.
now I've just gone completely
yeah.
off the
That
cuff.
famous left back in the Premier League.
Yeah, who did he play for?
Marcelo.
Oh, Real
Yeah,
Madrid.
that's
Oh,
it.
yes. He did very well.
No,
Uh,
Ashley Cole, I am happy with. To
Ashley
lock
Cole,
in.
we're agreeing here.
at
I think
left
we're all
back.
in agreement.
Yep.
Ashley Cole is going in at left back. So just to tell you, the back four, we have Neville, Terry, Ferdinand and Cole, which was our back four for England. And how many titles did we win?
Is that we just picked an all?
Yeah, we
English-
have, and it's
Oh
an
my
all
God.
United, all Chelsea back four now.
It is. Well, Petr Cech's in goal as well,
Okay,
so
that-
you've got a
Wow.
Chelsea keeper there. So hopefully...
What
we're
has
gonna-
happened here?
I mean, it's hard to argue that Chelsea defenders shouldn't be in it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
They
I
literally
know.
ruled the Premier League and
I mean, and
conceded.
United as well.
No.
Do you know what's hilarious? Where are the Arsenal Invincibles in this?
Sol Campbell, you could definitely have put in there.
I will say I've got
back.
one of them, or two of them actually,
Well,
in my
actually, do
team.
you want to go on to centre mids next? Because I feel like you might be going, you might be
Yes.
talking about someone.
So our two
to be
centre mids
invincible.
here.
So your two centre
Yeah.
mids, let's hear them.
I've actually. Oh my god, we've gone 4-4-2.
Yeah, we've done
We have
4-4-2.
gone 4-4-2.
I've done it again.
Oh my god!
What are you playing?
You can
back?
always put a number 10 in this. I've put a number 10 as one of my centre mids. So
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay. Then okay, I can do that.
go on then.
I've gone Vieira and Lampard
Okay.
as my two centre mids instead of Lampard and Gerrard.
Okay. Interesting.
Hmm.
I've gone Lampard, and then Kevin De Bruyne.
So Kevin De Bruyne is my 10.
Yeah, but I haven't. I'm a 4-4-2, so I haven't got a 10.
I know, but I fucked up the formation again for 2 recordings in a row.
He's awful.
I had
Lampard.
10 players in my formation. Yeah.
Go on, then,
Lampard-
So are you both in
Lampard-
agreement Lampard's going
Yeah,
in there?
Lampard
Yeah,
just
Lampard.
just above Gerrard, just because of the Premier League titles.
Yeah.
And the goals.
And the, can I speak on this podcast? goals and Premier League titles, but Gerrard still scored loads. I think Gerrard just suffers where he didn't score loads, but he
that
still
slip.
great. This slip does kind of ruin his legacy as well. It's not awful, but I have to go for Lampard.
Not a great managing career either.
For me, Patrick Vieira, you could have definitely put him in there. I can't really argue with that. But
What
Kevin De Bruyne,
Scholes?
Scholes's up there, 11 titles. But for me, Lampard, I've just said about PL titles, Lampard, but I just prefer Lampard over Scholesy. But Scholesy is still unreal. Yeah. And that debate of Lampard, Gerrard, Scholesy, I don't think you can really pick a clear winner.
It's difficult as well because I think I'd rather have De Bruyne in my team than Scholes.
Okay, De Bruyne is one of the best players I've ever seen live.
Yeah.
I've seen a decent amount of players live, and De Bruyne was one of the best players I've ever seen live.
Would you say De Bruyne is the best passer we've ever seen in the Premier League?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
You can maybe have Scholesy. It's Scholesy or De Bruyne for me, best passer.
With that,
I mean, who else are we comparing him to as well? Like, but out of the Prem
Gerrard
as well.
could pass too, you know.
Yeah.
But he was more of like
a shit
long
pinger.
ball.
Yeah.
Long ball crosses, like
for
diags.
Me, De Bruyne, just a nostalgia emergence. We're like, why are you putting De Bruyne? But De Bruyne, if you put him in any of the eras, he would have fucking smashed it.
I do agree. De Bruyne has had some absolutely incredible seasons.
So for our centre mids, we're definitely going Lampard.
Yeah.
Lampard
over Gerrard.
De Bruyne's in both.
It's going to
Lampard
irritate
and De
a
Bruyne.
few people. I mean, I hear lots of players say that Gerrard is the best player they've played.
Yeah, Gerrard could easily. Gerrard or Scholes could definitely be in that midfield instead of Lampard. I have gone for Lampard because I can.
Gerrard probably more of a leader than the pair of them.
So in our team, it is going to be Lampard and De Bruyne as centre mids. Yeah. Vieira.
Well, this is the problem now, to be fair.
There was a lot.
The difficulty is that, it is a 4-4-2 that we've decided, so my Vieira
You need a right wing and
gone.
left wing.
Yeah.
No, Vieira could have, but he's gone now. Right winger?
Yeah, should we start with right wingers?
Yeah.
Who's up for you then?
For me, it is Ronaldo. 2003 to 2009, there is 0% chance that Ronaldo isn't the best right winger the Premier League has seen.
I wrote down two. Salah or Ronaldo.
That's fair. But in your defence, you were born in 2002. Ronaldo joined the Premier League in 2003.
I still saw him as like a young person. I didn't see that much of him. But
1 year old, by the way, and he saw
No. Like when I was 4 or 5, he was still in there. And obviously his career after that, and obviously you watch highlights.
Oh, I remember all that Premier League I was watching it for.
But Salah, I don't know. It's a hard one. Because Salah's PL legacy is unreal. I mean, he's scored the second amount of foreign.
Do you think he continues? Random?
No, he's gone.
Yeah, you think he's gone?
He's got one more season, but he won't. He's not going to be able to get the same amount of PL titles as Ronaldo, so I'm happy to put Ronaldo in right winger.
Yep.
I think it's a tough debate, you know. I do think Salah is, in terms of goal scoring, I mean,
you can't argue. He's on 21 goals this season.
But then in terms of technical ability, Ronaldo
has Salah won a Ballon d'Or?
Has Salah won a Ballon d'Or? No, but he might be on for one this year if he continues his
form.
I think he's I think he's just about to take over.
He could do it. You know what?
He's all-time foreign goal scorer.
There's no World Cup this year, so Salah Ballon d'Or this year could do it. I mean, if Liverpool win the league, Champions League, something like that, maybe.
It'd actually be really hard to take it off him right now.
Yeah. But I mean, he also
we're 2 months into the year.
But even so,
you could argue that right now.
Of course,
Salah,
it goes January to December, doesn't it? That's true.
And there's also the chance that he could leave on a free to go to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, and that's
kind
of
completely.
But I'm happy to put Ronaldo right wing.
We're going for Ronaldo right wing.
Beckham as well.
Oh, Beckham.
Beckham's an honourable mention for sure.
Dead ball special.
Yeah, Ronaldo's better than Beckham. Let's not lie, but Beckham definitely could have been in there.
Different kind of players. Can't lie.
Yeah. Beckham, you could have had at centre mid as well, by the way.
I do think so, yeah. He played more on the right, I think.
Yeah,
he was centre mid when he left, wasn't he? Milan, Los Angeles.
Real Madrid.
No, not Los Angeles.
Real Madrid.
Yeah, but he wasn't really very great at Madrid, was he?
He did quite well. He did quite well at Madrid.
Not to begin with. Do you not watch the documentary?
Yeah, God. We're going Ronaldo. We're going to have to cut that out.
Yeah.
We're going to go for...
confession there from Geordie.
We're going to have to cut that out so you didn't hear. But Ronaldo at right wing.
We're going in for Ronaldo at right wing. I mean, he is arguably one of the best players of all time.
On the opposite side?
Arguably, no, he is one of the best players of all time. Whether he's number 1 or 2.
On the opposite side, left winger.
That's a debate.
Surely this is obvious.
Left winger, who are we going for?
Henry.
Oh. Henry played
If you put Semenyo.
Henry played up front for Arsenal.
That's what I was just about to say.
Henry played as striker. So I've gone Eden Hazard.
Well then, yeah, I changed my... Did he?
Yeah, played up front.
I fully thought he was a left winger for his whole career.
No. Mainly played up front for for Arsenal, he put him in
It's
striker.
probably because most of his goals came from the left wing.
When he
His
was at
iconic
Arsenal.
trademark goal.
Yeah, cutting in all the way through.
So I agree. I've got Henry at striker, but a little giveaway. But left
Oh,
wing.
okay, well
and
then
Hazard.
I'll agree to that, and I would say Hazard.
There's a
on
few
the
that was
left
up.
as well.
Perez. Definitely
Perez.
invincible season.
What about Gareth Bale?
But
Was he not?
oh, his most iconic moments
He
probably came after Spurs.
I'd
That
argue.
one season he had where
yeah.
he was just
No, I'd
one of
argue
the
he
best
wasn't
players
in
the
it long
Premier
enough.
League has ever seen.
yeah.
I would argue that he wasn't there long enough to put him over Hazard.
Yeah, Eden Hazard was just.
But then Hazard had some
unbelievable.
seasons where he didn't actually do much.
But he
Hard
did
to say.
so
His dribbling,
much.
He did.
his
yeah.
dribbling was unreal. Let's not joke about it.
Even
Any
in his worst
PLs,
season, he stopped Spurs winning a league, which I'm
just
sure
his
Chelsea
natural
fans
talent
are
was unreal. So I think
agreeing
you
with.
can't Hazard for me. At
You
left
boys
wing.
both agreeing on Hazard then?
Yeah, we'll go Hazard on the left, and
Right,
then
okay.
we'll immediately go to Henry up front because that's my bad.
Yeah.
We've
one of
already
Henry's.
agreed Henry, probably
Yeah.
one of the best. Would you say he's one of the best in the Prem of all time?
Yeah.
What Henry? Oh God, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
God, yeah.
just
yeah. Goals.
ridiculous.
I mean, he still has the top goals for the foreign player, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then obviously the other striker spot.
No, he doesn't.
No,
That's
no, Aguero. He.
Oh, sorry, it is
Salah
Aguero.
just overtook
Aguero.
Henry.
Who's your other striker?
Shearer.
Mine's Shearer.
Yours is both Shearer.
Top-
So you're both putting in Shearer,
Yeah.
but then hold on, you've not even put in Wayne Rooney.
I
No,
crossed
Wayne
him
Rooney's
out.
honourable mention here,
Yeah,
mate.
I've crossed him
Wayne
out.
Rooney. How can you? I don't feel like you can put Wayne Rooney above Shearer.
You know, Wayne Rooney has scored 213 goals, and Alan Shearer was 260 something.
Yeah,
It was 260, I think.
I think Alan
it
Shearer
dead
for
on?
me just tops it, but Wayne Rooney, get up there.
Unbelievable player.
Aguero.
Aguero,
I mean, it's hard to argue Aguero shouldn't be in that team.
Drogba.
Drogba.
I wouldn't put Drogba as high as Aguero.
What about that?
He had
Luis
moments,
Suarez season?
Drogba.
Luis Suarez again, not long
He's
enough.
on the level of Drogba for me. Drogba and Luis Suarez.
I think Luis Suarez is one of the best number 9s ever to play football, but I'm doing it off PL legacy a bit as well. I'd say Omri and Shearer. Shearer literally has the most goals in the Premier League. I think you can't not put
I
him
wonder
in.
if anyone's going to... Harry Kane was probably the closest we see in the next 10 years.
Again,
to
Harry Kane is
beating
another
that.
big shout.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, didn't win any
Kane was
Premier
on my
Leagues, but
mind.
the amount of goals he scored is a joke.
Mm.
I think maybe... Yeah, I think Shearer. For me, it has to
I
be.
don't think
Shearer.
his record could
Again, I didn't see
come
much of
close to being
him.
broken until Haaland beats it.
Haaland
True.
maybe, but I don't know if he stays at City for long enough to
Maybe
beat it.
He's just signed
maybe
5
in 10
years, isn't
years'
he?
time.
Yeah,
Haaland
but
will
people
be
have
there.
signed contracts and then leaving 6 months. I think it's hard, even though I didn't see much Shearer, I think it's quite hard to leave out a player that has the record.
I think it's fair
For
enough to
striker.
put Shearer in an all-time Premier League team. So,
he's got to.
Let's
are we
run through the
happy with
team,
our
Joe.
team? Should we run through our team?
Yeah.
We have
Yeah,
in
let's do it.
goal, Petr Cech. Right
Yeah.
back, Gary Neville. Centre-backs, John Terry, Rio Ferdinand. Left-back, Ashley Cole. Our centre-mids are Lampard and De Bruyne. Our right mid is Ronaldo. Our left mid is Hazard. And our strikers are Henry and Shearer.
Yeah,
Are we happy with that?
I am.
Yeah.
There's obviously
Anyone that we've missed out?
there's loads we've missed out.
I do
let's
feel
not
like that
lie.
is probably the most typical Premier League XI
Yeah, but
you can possibly. Like,
you could
know what I
probably
mean?
you could easily put in Aguero
Mm.
if you wanted to.
If you wanted to be a bit controversial, you could swap
You could have
some in.
easily put in Gerrard,
Lampard.
Scholes, Vieira could be in there.
I do think
centre-backs.
Rooney is the
Salah.
one I would be looking at.
Salah, I think, does argue a good point above Ronaldo. Maybe
And that's another
Maybe.
good point as well.
he's been there 6-7 seasons now, and
There's a few, but I'm happy with that.
best manager, Sir Alex Ferguson.
Yeah, Ferguson, come on.
Ferguson, but
Oh, Mourinho.
Mourinho and Pep are up there as well. I guess.
We go
But
Ferguson though. That's-
100% Ferguson.
Yeah.
I
Let's
think.
not take the piss here.
Let's not take the piss here. So we have just spoken about a lot of ballers. Do you think any of them would survive in today's Premier League? Do you think Henry could be the striker that Arsenal desperately needed this
Yeah,
season?
gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. Can you imagine Henry in that Arsenal squad? How much better they'd be.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
he'd probably do a job now, to be honest.
Yeah, he could
I
probably-
think Henry is
I think he's better than
definitely
Havertz.
one of the
Current
only-
Havertz as well.
I don't think you're wrong.
Well, I don't think that was a hard
Current
debate.
Henry is better than current Havertz. Is what I'm saying.
Fuck me, I thought you just roguely
No.
compared him
yeah,
to
I mean,
Havertz.
yeah, Henry.
I think some of the goalkeepers would still be... Petr Cech and Van der Sar would still probably be...
That was the most boring position you could have picked
Yeah,
there, I
alright.
feel like.
Fair enough, well, okay, Ashley Cole.
Yeah, easy.
Do you think he'd pocket Salah?
Yeah,
I'd love
I
to
mean,
see it.
Although that battle between Ronaldo and Ashley Cole was pretty legendary for
Yeah.
years, wasn't it?
I think
see that
Ronaldo
one.
said he's the hardest player he's ever
Yeah.
faced.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Which
Centre backs,
is enough.
John
Centre-backs-
Terry, Henry.
Could they deal with Haaland?
Yes, they could deal with those. They dealt with fucking
I don't
Jorok.
think there's any proper talent in strikers that old centre-backs couldn't handle.
Isaac would be all over some of these strikers, I think. Suarez, he would have been a handful for some
Yeah,
of
but
these.
they dealt with Suarez.
Paul Onuachu.
I don't know.
They were actually, Ferdinand would have been right there.
Joe, if you ever say anything like that again, you're getting kicked out. Centre back, yeah, but Van Dijk in the old era, yeah, he probably would have done all right. The one thing I don't think John Terry, the old antics that they'd get away with, the elbowing, they might not get away, but I still think they'd absolutely smash it in the modern day.
I think we're right. I think this team that we've picked would be pretty good in today's era.
Would it win a title?
Our centre mids.
Would it win a title? Yeah.
Would it win a title?
It would
right
piss
now?
it. Right now, it
this
would
season,
piss
I
it.
think they probably would. But
Does
centre
that
mids
beat
might
City?
get.
City's a 100-point
annihilated.
team.
Does that
No.
beat City's treble-winning team
I don't know.
with all of them fit? Rodri, De Bruyne, Haaland,
Gabriel
Bernardo
Jesus was in
Silva.
that team, remember? Yes. Yeah, definitely. In that prime, that team beats any team.
Yeah,
Yeah, come on. We've just named the top best PL team. We can't
Yeah.
say it doesn't beat any team.
and we haven't put any City players in there.
Yeah.
Got De Bruyne.
A couple of,
That's
yeah,
true.
De Bruyne. And a couple of honourable mentions as well.
I also think another honourable mention we actually completely forgot about is Kante.
I scribbled him out. I'd
He's
put
one of
him
the
in there.
best centre mids, and in this
Yeah.
team, I'm looking at this team and I'm thinking if we had Kante in the centre mid position, that team would 100% win.
That's
the
for
league.
me why I put Vieira in. I scribbled out Kante and I put Vieira in.
He's gone for the balance with his four. What is it? Four.
Well, I didn't do that
For
team.
some reason, played a 4-1-2.
I didn't do that team to balance it. So
Right, yeah.
Kante's up there, but
No, I think we're happy with our team.
3 PL
They would win
times?
our league.
yeah, comfortably.
Very
Maybe
comfortably.
a few benchers. I've got Guerra on the bench to come on as well. So
That's a pretty strong squad. Shall we move on then and let's
Yeah,
talk
let's move
about today's modern Premier League? And
Yep.
let's discuss your top 10 players in the league right now. Geordie, you went first last
Have
time. So
you-
Dicko, do you want to start us off
Yeah.
with your number 10?
So I've done this kind of informed, kind of not.
Well, hold on. What's the question?
Current
Is the
PL
question
players.
in form?
Okay, yeah, current PL players. Let's do it. Number 10, I've gone with Odegaard.
Oh, we're going from the back up.
Yeah, of course we are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
João Pedro.
Really? João Pedro.
5
Right
goals,
now.
5 assists.
I
Right now?
would not put
João Pedro.
João
the
Pedro has
Top,
been...
the 10th best player in the league. Right, like if you had to pick a squad, you're putting João Pedro in.
I thought we were doing in form. Like
Yeah, but
recently
he's not
in
even
form.
in form.
He's
Yes,
not even
he
in
is.
for 5 goals.
And 5 assists.
Yeah, but how many of those are penalties? He's a pen taker.
Yeah, but he's not been starting. He hasn't paid.
He's not even starting, and you're putting him.
That's why I think he's decent. He comes off the bench, he scores and gets fucking assists.
No. Joel, who's your number 10?
Not João Pedro.
Yeah, thank God for that,
is
Joel.
my
At least we've
number
got
10.
someone smart. That is absolutely unreal.
I think there's pretty much anyone in Bournemouth's team, Liverpool's team. These guys,
No,
100%.
There's no
better.
Bournemouth players in this,
Yeah.
by the way.
Are they not?
no,
You should have
not
been.
at the moment.
I
Top
think
10.
even as a Saints fan, I can admit Bournemouth have been.
Yeah, don't get me
flying
wrong,
this
but I
season.
can't put them in top. If I had to pick 11, no.
All right, I'll swap
number 10,
10.
Odegaard. I've gone for anyway.
And I'll
Okay.
put Kirkes then.
Oh God,
Are we
mate.
talking-
Are we
are you-
taking the piss here?
Are you talking about actually the 10 best players, like
I'm not doing it.
value or in form?
No, really,
current
is
form?
in. If I had to pick
I'm
the
saying-
10 best players for ability wise, this is who I'm picking.
Oh, okay.
What? Well,
So
I've
you've gone-
completely gone for a different thing here. We said in form.
I haven't done
Even
it for.
so, João Pedro.
João Pedro is an awful shout. Number 10, Odegaard.
Okay.
Are we happy to put him in our 10?
Right
Oh,
now-
okay. What are we doing? In form.
I've just done who I'd if so for me.
This might
E.g.
change.
Rodri is in my team. In my.
Oh,
Rodri.
So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
meant
can't do that. He's
right
injured.
now.
Yeah, but he
No,
current,
right now.
current PL players you'd play him.
No, right now. Do right now because you can think of this off your dome.
No,
10
Rodri.
players that are playing well right now.
Definitely not Rodri.
The fuck is Rodri going to be interesting for?
Rodri be way higher as well. Do you know what I mean?
I've got Rodri second.
No, okay. Well, yeah, okay, fair enough. But I think we
Rodri.
were going to do 10 best players in
Fuck
the league
me,
right
João
now.
Pedro.
So we're
in
saying top 10 players this season,
Yeah,
aren't we?
so you
Yeah.
can just
Yeah.
list Bournemouth.
Why is
players
Rodri in there then?
if
He's
you
been
wanted
injured.
to.
He hasn't played a
No,
minute.
see, but current
Odegaard, I don't think
current
has been-
PL players, I'd say Rodri.
But this
is,
season.
yeah, I didn't realise we're doing this. I'm saying current PL players that are in the league. Where would I rank them?
Right. No,
If
okay.
they were not injured,
This season.
this is what I'm doing. I'm not doing this season. I didn't.
No,
do this
but
season,
do this
I can
season.
change it. But I'm still putting Odegaard in number 10. Do it from 10 then. Do your number 9. Who's your number 9th? Because João Pedro ain't.
All right, well, number 9 is Pickford.
It could be. I don't. I don't know where.
I don't
I don't know
Alisson.
who else is on these lists.
Alisson, number 9, I put in.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, Alisson. Yeah. He, against Bournemouth the other day, he saved everything.
Although, wasn't he injured at the start of the season? Didn't he barely play?
Yeah,
Kelleher played.
but
He did actually.
you can't tell me that you would
And
pick
Kelleher's
Alisson.
also a good
Yeah,
player,
but in form, Pickford has literally saved Everton.
I'm going to
multiple
Alisson
times.
just
Also,
because
Moyes, the
I think he's
form.
the best keeper in the world.
All right, in form. Let's stick to that.
I think
Alisson.
I'm going to go with Geordie on that one. We'll go for Pickford.
8.
But we can change this at the end. We'll debate this
Yeah,
at the end.
yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
there might
that's
be
fine.
some people moving. Number 8.
I've gone Morgan Gibbs-White here.
It's a good shout.
Disappointed me and my ACCA against Exeter. However, in the league and recently, he has been incredible.
8.
Magical player, I can't lie.
This season.
He is a good player. Nottingham Forest are flying this season.
They are.
There's quite a
I'm
lot
happy
of
with
players
him.
that you can pick there.
Right.
We'll keep Gibbs White in.
Mine
Is there anyone else we can go for?
Saliba.
Number 7.
Saliba, I would have maybe put an 8th, but
Maybe he should go in at 10 instead of Odegaard.
yeah.
Because Arsenal, let's be honest, they've not been
I'd actually say
as
Gabriel's had a
impressive.
better season than Saliba.
Gabriel has had a better
Actually,
season.
true. So do you
Yeah.
reckon Gabriel over Saliba now?
Yeah, number 10.
He's unreal at scoring, isn't he, Gabriel, for a centre back?
Yeah, hasn't he scored 5 goals this year?
I think so, but they're unreal at set pieces, and he's the main
Yeah, he is.
threat from those. So I would, we'll stick Gabriel in at
He's
10.
the target.
Pickford at 9, Gibbs White at 8. Who's number 7?
Rogers.
Yeah.
Morgan Rogers. Villa.
Morgan Rogers has probably been one of the most impressive players for Villa this season. I will give you that.
And it'll be really interesting to see how they do with the addition
Is that
of
number
Rashford.
6?
That was number
7, that is.
That's number 7, is it?
Yeah.
So I think, it's going to be interesting to see you have in this top 6 because
Dicko, I think our top 5 are going to be pretty similar here.
No, number 6, Chris Wood.
Chris Wood at 6.
He's actually my number 4. But 6 for me was Mbeumo.
Oh,
Which
Yeah.
pains me to say.
I do think both of those should be in this top 10, to be honest. The seasons they've both had.
Yes.
So who should we go for? Should we go for Mbeumo number 6?
Yeah, go on then.
I'd be happy with that. I think
Go
Chris
on
Wood
then.
can be
14
bumped
goals.
up a little bit.
Not bad.
I think our top 5 here are going to be the same players.
What players this? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we know your 4th is Chris Wood.
Yeah. And
Do
my
you want to
5th.
say your 5th and 4th? And then
Yeah,
you can say
my
your
5th and 4th is Cole Palmer 5th.
Okay.
And 4th is Chris Wood.
Okay.
Yeah, Cole Palmer 5th. I'm happy with.
Yeah.
Number 4. Who do we put in 6? Sorry.
Mbeumo.
Mbeumo. Yeah, number 4, Chris Wood then. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So the top 3, we know who's finishing number 1, I think, but who
Yeah.
takes the other
Let's do
top
3
2
and 2.
spots, actually?
Number 3. Who's your number 3?
Anthony Robinson.
Anthony Robinson.
10 assists as a left back in Fulham's
He's not
team.
the 3rd best player in the Premier League
Mate,
this
he's
season.
literally the best left back in Europe.
You could argue that Kirkus has been better than Robinson.
But you
right?
can't because where's his
I
assists?
can't. Yeah, but
None.
Kirkus got. How many goals does
One.
Robinson get then?
You don't need to score as a left back, mate.
Yeah, well,
10
Kirkus had,
assists.
so you could use that. But you can't say he's the 3rd best
How many
player.
goals has Kirkus scored?
2.
Right. Doesn't
Bangers.
even compare to 10 assists.
How many assists has he got then?
And 10. And
No,
Anthony
no,
Robinson,
Kirkus.
like 1.
Oh, it's got to be more than that, isn't it?
Nah. You got like Clivert and Semenyo way up there, way before Kirkus. He might have 1 or 2 assists.
I think Robinson is
Kirkus got
leading
3.
the most assists for a defender by some.
I'm not putting
distance.
Robinson in my
Huge
top 3.
margin.
No, not putting my top 3 PL players this season though.
For me, I mean, we
'Cause he
also
could arguably-
state the fact he plays for Fulham and has got 10 assists.
Yeah, but you could argue that he hasn't been the best left back.
We've got Raul Jimenez and Muniz trying to put the ball in the back of the net off of his sometimes suspectable crosses.
I mean, I do think Robinson probably does deserve a place in this 10. Whether number 3 is a fair position for
I'll
him.
put Gravenberch in.
Raven Birch is a good shout.
Number 3.
Number
He's ran
three,
that
fair.
Liverpool
Again, I
midfield.
don't think
He's not in my top 10, but
I think this is going to be a questionable list.
I think
To
that.
be honest with
I
you,
think
he
putting
has
Robinson in 3rd is a fucking joke.
I think we're going to pencil it in. We're going to have to move.
Yeah,
some
we're gonna
of
have
these
to
guys
move that
around.
about because
And
Robinson getting in frick.
you know
have a-
he's the 3rd or 4th in assists in the Premier
which
League
is
at the
which
moment.
is impressive for a Fulham left back.
I can't put him top 3 players in the PL.
But I still think there's going to be some players missing off this list. Shall we see who they are? Number 2.
Isaac. I don't think there's any debating 1 and 2.
I think
Salah
Alexander
and Isaac.
Isak is probably the 2nd best player in the Premier League right now.
What's
Salah is definitely number 1. We
Hmm.
can all agree on that. So let me just run through the list. Okay.
I think this is an awful list.
I think this is an awful list. I was hoping Dicko, you might have.
Yeah, well,
come prepared.
I didn't do the right list.
That's fair enough.
I didn't do
get
the right
memo.
list.
You didn't get the memo. It's all right.
Because I've got Haaland in my team as well.
I think Haaland
The fact we
definitely
can't put
deserves
Haaland in.
a place in the top 10.
17
I think,
goals.
Yeah, exactly. Even though he does it every season, I think.
You could put him 10th, couldn't you? Easily.
10th? I think he could
more.
be higher. I think
We
he could
put
be
Robinson in third, so
and Gravenberch. I think Chris Woods had a better season than Gravenberch and Chris Wood.
okay, yeah, that's fair.
But then Robinson. And Palmer as well. I know he's not hit the same heights as last season, but when he has, he's on
The thing is, he's also trying to
Cole
link
Palmer's on
things up
14
a
goals.
little bit more.
It's pretty impressive.
14 goals, and he's also got Sancho and Madueke, Madueke's on like 7 goals. Sancho's on 4 goals, 4 assists. Like, he's also threading the needle with those.
I mean, he's making that Chelsea team tick.
Like, it's fully Cole
With
Palmer
Nicholas
FC.
Jackson up front. So
Yeah, dodgy.
That's
right,
hard.
I'm going to read out the 10, and then
Yeah,
I'm going
it's
to
a
list
shocking
off
list.
some players that we probably should have in there. So 10 is Gabriel, 9 Pickford, 8 Gibbs White, 7 Rodgers, 6 Mbuemo, 5 Palmer, 4 Wood, 3 we've got Robinson / Gravenberch, and 2 Isak and Salah.
Yeah, this is
So
shit. That is
an
list.
awful list. I do have to agree with you there,
Yeah.
Dicko. I think
Horrible blokes.
Put Robinson down to like a lot more.
we're going to have to remake this.
I don't mind
list,
putting him
'cause-
10th, but to put him third.
Sure. I mean, we need Haaland in there. Who else I think?
19
deserves a
goals
place?
Haaland is on.
Yeah.
And we put Robinson.
Robinson.
Excuse me, you didn't even mention Haaland
to be
in your
fair-
top 10. Don't come at me every time.
No, I did, but I did it previously. Also putting Cole Palmer below Robinson's a bit muggy. Putting Mbuemo below Robinson's a bit muggy.
It is.
Yeah, fair
but
enough.
Mbuemo has had a great season at
You
home,
need to really
especially.
figure. Even
He's great
putting
in tournaments.
Pickford in is a bit dodgy when Matt Sells exists as well. Nottingham Forest keeper
Yeah,
with the
but they're
most
just
clean
a solid
sheets.
defensive unit. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and we haven't
bit
put
like
we
Bournemouth.
haven't put a single of the best PL defenders this season with the most clean sheets in this.
Yeah, but that's also because, again, as Joel's just pointed out, that's a unit. Pickford on his own has saved Everton multiple times this year.
I still put Matt Sells above him this year. You can't rule out the most clean sheets in the season.
You can, because it's a whole back four.
Season's not over yet. Moyes is cooking.
Oh God.
Who else is another player that we think could?
Semenyo, Clivert,
Semenyo, Clivert.
Kirkers,
Interesting.
Zabani, Hoyson.
There's a
Lewis Cook.
there's a common theme between
AYB.
these players you're listing.
Well, I mean,
here,
there's
Dicko.
I didn't actually put any in there, although I didn't realize we were doing it in form. So
Yeah, I think
probably would
I
have
think your whole list probably
would have maybe put in
Yeah.
one of them.
If you could pick one Bournemouth player, who would it
Top.
be?
Kirkers, probably.
Dean Hoyson, probably.
Hoyson
Oh,
has
actually,
been
yeah.
very, very
Dean Hoyson
impressive.
or Antonio Semenyo would be.
Semenyo.
I'd go with the Hoyson one.
They'd be
If we're
nice.
talking about
Top.
current form, Clivert surely has to be.
Yeah, yeah. If you were talking the last month,
Yeah.
obviously player of the month.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely put
What about some other Newcastle players?
Isaac.
Gamirez.
Tonali.
Gimaraes.
It's been great.
Tonali is quality, but I'd say Isaac is their main
Nah,
standout
Bruno
player.
Guimaraes is probably the other standout player for Newcastle at the moment.
Yeah. Cunha had a very good
Cunha,
spell.
yeah.
for
Yeah,
Wolves.
yeah, I did mention him. Yeah.
Yeah.
11 goals?
No,
don't know.
I think he's
11?
on more than that, isn't he?
I think he's on 11.
I'm gonna have to get my fantasy team.
Kuna's on 11, yeah.
Hmm.
I'm on 1%. But
Any other City players? You know,
they've been pretty poor this season.
They
To
have
be
been
fair,
pretty
I think
poor.
it's quite hard to put in any.
Rico Lewis could get an honourable mention considering he's had to just be thrown in there.
I think this season he hasn't been great.
I
don't
he
think he's been great this season.
is great at all. Having watched him, I feel like he makes mistakes a lot. But,
I don't think you can
How
put him
is he
anywhere
still
near.
like 18?
but like you
Yeah,
said,
he's
he's been
young.
thrown into a messy City team.
Like,
But,
horrible thing to be in.
I know he might still become a good player, but from what I've seen, I don't
I wouldn't put any City players in apart from
I-
Haaland
agree.
for a season.
He's basically carried them to where
I
they
I mean,
are.
to be fair, they've had a lot of injuries as well, so they haven't really had a solid 11.
So, do we want to tweak this thing at all? Who has to leave this top 10 for
I,
sure?
I
do you
think we've just mucked it up.
I think we have.
I reckon we move on and let the
Yeah.
comments decide a little bit here, and our horrible takes can be publicly.
I think. Should we just
stoned.
try and redo our top 5?
Yeah, do the top 5.
Because
Yeah,
we've
I
got
mean, yeah.
so
Yeah, top
Salah,
5.
Isak, non-negotiable. I think Chris Wood
Chris
has
Wood.
to be in at 3.
yeah.
And Buemo 4.
No.
Why 14 goals,
No.
like 4 assists?
Who do you
Cole
think?
Palmer 4.
Palmer 4.
Yeah.
Okay, well then
They've had the same
Mbuemo's
amount of
probably
goals.
Do you
5.
think? Do you think Abuemo's had a better season than
And then-
Haaland?
Pardon?
Abuemo's had a better season.
Well,
than
yeah,
Haaland.
okay, but now it's relative because what are we talking? Are we talking in terms of year-on-year performance, because Haaland is still performing at the same level, if not a little bit worse than previous, whereas Mbeumo is on his best record season. He is outperforming
And
himself
Mbeumo's playing for Brentford
tough.
by a
well,
mile.
But if you also remember at the start of the season,
think-
when City weren't terrible,
I think
Haaland
Mbeumo-
was cooking.
I think Mbeumo has had a better season personally.
We will go from Mbeumo then.
It's also more impressive for him as a winger
Poor
at the
earning.
moment.
Yeah.
Where have you put Mbeumo then?
So
Fifth.
Mbeumo fifth.
Fifth. Okay.
Palmer fourth. Chris Wood third. Alexander Isak second. And number one, Mohamed Salah.
Yeah, it does seem like a bit typical and too easy,
Yeah.
that list, but we'll take
No, I
it.
think
It's
people
probably
argue
accurate.
that. I think people argue.
We happy with that?
honestly. Yeah.
I'm sure everyone's going to argue with that.
I'd argue with it. So
All the João Pedro fans are going to be sending their...
João
I
Pedro.
thought that was a
Hatred.
good shout.
No.
5 goals, 5 assists.
He
Doesn't...
got- no.
After the players we've listed, João Pedro... I don't think
You
João
put
Pedro
João
makes my top
Pedro
20.
above like putting him
Yeah,
above any Bournemouth or
alright.
like Nottingham Forest players is unreal.
All right,
Some take.
moving on.
That might be the worst take.
That was worse than Robinson.
That was
Yeah,
horrible.
Robinson.
That was-
Robinson at
Robinson
third
has
and
had a-
João Pedro 10.
Yeah, Robinson has had a good season.
You're
But
getting
right.
slated.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Deservedly so, I think.
The quicker we move on from that subject, the better.
Yes. So now we've done our top 10 players in the league right now. I think it's time that we discuss teams.
Yep.
So we are now going to rank Premier League teams by their season from S tier down to D tier. Okay.
A to Z.
A to Z. Let's start with A to Z. So who's the first team?
Yeah.
Alphabetically.
Yeah, do it
It's
Yeah, that's
going to be
alphabetically, and then S to
S
D?
is the top, down to E being the worst.
With is it Arsenal or Aston Villa?
Arsenal.
It's
Oh,
technically,
AFC
it's
Bournemouth.
technically AFC Bournemouth.
Oh,
AFC
yeah.
Bournemouth.
S.
S. No.
It's top
Oh,
tier.
yeah.
S tier is top
It is
tier.
top tier.
No.
No, although... no, I think there's only one team that could go in S tier. So I'm saying A.
S.
B for me. I
S.
mean, AFCB is A for me.
S. With the
It
injuries
depends.
we've had as well.
That is
an
only
unreal-
recent, though.
It's
Isn't
been for the
it?
last like month and a half, 2 months in our toughest run.
That's true, and you had the difficult run.
It's got to be S. No one would have said Bournemouth would be anywhere near the top 7 at the start of the season. I did, but no one
But
from
you
the
are
outside.
only 7th.
Bournemouth fan. Yeah, 7th.
Yeah,
And,
so
and we're like,
it's not like...
yeah, but we're 2 points behind 5th. Like this weekend we could go 5th.
For me, you're A, because there's only one team in my mind that could be S.
No,
I-
I've got a couple in S.
If there's only one team, then it's, I know.
Where are you putting Bournemouth?
As a Southampton fan, it really pains me to
Yeah, but
say this,
you
but
lot don't care
Bournemouth
about
have been flying this season. And when I watched them dispatch Newcastle away 4-1, I was
With
like,
11 fit players.
with like, an injury struck squad, I was like, whoa, this team is pretty good. And I think that some of the teams they've beaten this season deserve some recognition. I hate to do this, but I'm going to put them in the S tier.
Yeah, let's go S tier. Boom. I'm happy with that.
Sorry, Geordie.
Don't be sorry, it's fine, boys. I can't disagree with the fact it's S. It's just in my mind I was trying to do one team in S, one team in E, and then fill the gap.
I
No,
see.
we are doing S to D, by the way.
Don't
We'll do
worry
S to D.
about that.
To D.
Yeah.
A, B, C. Okay, so no E.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next team. Arsenal.
Arsenal.
C.
Oh, that's harsh.
Actually,
They're
no, that
second.
is harsh.
That's harsh.
B. B.
Are they doing anything that we wouldn't expect from them?
I think they would be in second, whether it was City, Liverpool, or someone else.
I'm going to give them an.
table.
It's fucking hard. Actually. This is hard.
And the only reason why they've
It's A
recently
or B
been-
for me. It's A or B for me.
Take away the new set piece tactics and all of that.
Tactically, they're awful team, by the way.
So we've got to remember, Saka, their best player,
Is injured.
has been injured, but they also have no real
Striker.
number 9 striker, and that's
Yeah,
a
but
problem that they could have addressed.
in January.
They knew even in the summer, I think. They knew that going
yeah, that's their own
forward.
fault. They can.
Exactly,
It's
and
not.
I'd argue, have they been as good as they were in the previous 2 seasons?
No,
They've done the same thing.
I'd say no.
I think they're.
I'm
going
gonna
to
go
worse than last year.
Defensively, obviously, they're one of the best in the league,
I'm gonna say B. B.
if not the best in
B-
the league.
B
I
for
think
me.
B is a fair assessment because they're still there or thereabouts. So the only ones that I think can realistically catch Liverpool. Maybe
You
other
could
than
put
Forest.
them in A though. You could.
It depends who you have else.
Nah,
in A,
B.
But I think they're only in
B-
second because Man City have had a stinker.
That's true. And
Otherwise, they wouldn't be anywhere near.
the other teams around the Champions
Haven't-
League places.
Yeah, aren't able to go. B.
B is a fair assessment. Right, so next would be Aston Villa, right?
Aston Villa. Ooh, 8th place at the moment.
B or A? It's kind of, that's right on the border for me, because I think they're doing really well, but I think they're about to be a lot better.
I don't know though. They've got a lot of injuries. They've got no fit centre backs at the moment. That's the only problem.
have
And they just got rid of Duran.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
have just started a good run of
bring in
form.
Rashford
And
in.
injured
Asensio.
Watkins is now coming back. Rashford. That's what I mean though. Like in the future tense, I would say A, but currently B.
B for
B, a
Villa.
fair assessment. They also have just had a very good January transfer window, I think. With
Yeah,
players
my
like
issues they
Haaland
got-
as well.
They
Asensio.
could, if they had fit
Asensio.
centre backs, I'd bet on them to get top 4, but because they haven't got fit centre backs at
Yeah,
the moment, I'd
no Mings.
B.
I think we're saying B, and then they have potential to have an A.
Yeah,
Definitely
they
could be
because you've got to
an A
remember they're
season for
also
them.
in Europe this season.
Mate, they could end
Yeah,
up being an
exactly.
ST.
And they're doing well in the
could be.
Champions League.
We'll
So
see.
they did well in the Champions League.
It'll be
but
interesting to
it's
see
Prem.
where they finish, I think.
I'm happy with the B.
So who would be next in our alphabetical
Brentford.
league order?
Is it Brentford?
And Brentford do begin with B, and that is the next letter on there. Should we go Brentford?
Yeah.
Brentford or Brighton? Yeah, it would be Brentford.
Yeah, Brentford.
So Brentford, putting your biases aside for 1 second, Geordie.
Well,
Where do
they're,
you
they're
think
like
Brentford
slap
are?
bang 11, mate. They C.
They're doing what? I wouldn't put them C.
Really?
I think they're doing better than what people
They-
thought they'd do. With no Tony.
To be fair, you're right, actually.
If you're
With-
doing it
without
with the basic,
Tony,
basic team, I'd give them a...
B.
Their home form's pretty good. I'd give them maybe an A.
An A.
Maybe. For what their club is, then maybe an A.
I do get where you're coming from.
Just losing Tony. B, maybe.
They are
B.
B.
still punching
can't be
above their
anything
weight,
less than
let's
B.
be honest.
They're still up
Definitely.
there.
I think Embuemo, Wissa.
I would
I
have
just think
backed
they're
them
having-
to be struggling to stay up.
Exactly. So
I would have put them where, like,
Yeah, but if you're saying they're going to struggle, you thought they were going to
Palace.
struggle, they're in 11th.
Thomas Frank. Is
yeah,
ranked
but they are a little bit far off it, aren't they? They're like 6 points off of breaking
They're
into the top
11th.
9.
Exactly. So they're having a good season.
They gave me a horrible
An
weekend
okay season.
a few weeks ago.
They're just having an okay season.
Okay season, but it's A.
B.
You've got to put them in.
B.
Yeah, B.
I think B,
They're doing better than what people thought, but
potentially A.
potentially
I would have said
B.
C or
We're
B,
going to
but you
pencil them
guys
in
are...
at B,
Yeah.
and then we'll see what other teams are
Yeah.
around that. Because right now we put the last 3 in B.
That's what I'm...
There's a lot of.
So
Yeah, there's a few
Yeah.
good teams and good teams. I think that's fair.
yeah, so Brighton next then.
They're
João
fa-
Pedro, one of the best players in the league.
apparently.
How's he getting on?
5 goals, 5 assists,
How
I
is
do
he?
believe.
Is that right?
Well bet.
For me, I don't think their fans like their new manager, but I'm gonna go C.
Yeah, I'll say C.
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 I do
Brighton as a
think-
whole, C.
In terms of
C.
what De Zerbi did for them, I think they are not.
I know all their fans
hitting
don't
the
like their
same
manager.
heights,
I
do
don't
they
think
not?
they like their new manager. I've seen it on social media, but I'm gonna give them a C. They're not awful, are they? They're still 12th or something.
They're 10th at the moment.
10th. Okay, that's so B.
So
Yeah.
they're still respectable.
B,
No,
maybe
I
a
don't
I'd
B.
bring them down to C. I think
I
with
think
what they
C,
had,
in
they could have been
terms of-
alright.
Yeah, I think in terms of what they,
Well,
in terms of their performances. And
where would you say they finished at the
entertainment,
start of the season though?
Probably about where they
Probably
are.
10th, yeah.
But then that means
Yeah, but that's a
that
C,
means
'cause they're not
performing above
overperforming.
and they're not underperforming.
All right,
so I
C.
agree.
I'd say C's underperforming. B's like doing what? A's overperforming. S is
I think we
well
need to bring
over.
out. I know we said D, but I think we need an E
We
here
might-
because I think
Yeah, if
Yeah,
we've
might
yeah,
need
we
D.
can keep the E because I still
Yeah.
wouldn't have put any of these in D.
because there's one team
Yeah.
in my mind that doesn't deserve to be one place below Brighton.
I wonder.
no. Carry on though. with the
Yeah.
list.
Okay, let's go on. So next up, it's going to be
So where have we put Brian? C.
Brighton C.
Palace,
We need to fill out the thing, and the next one is actually Chelsea. Oh no, Crystal Palace. Yeah, or no, it's Chelsea.
Chelsea,
Yeah, Chelsea.
Let's go Chelsea.
A.
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 Yeah.
They are currently
A.
in the top 4.
Okay, they spent so much money, but everyone was saying, "Oh, they can't put a
That
squad
was
together.
also
They
last
can't-
year.
They can't put a squad together." Loads of people slagging them off. I'd say A. They're doing better than what I'd thought. Anyway, I didn't think they get top 4. And now that
And their
I think-
contributions are coming, despite what we said earlier
They're a
about
low A.
Palmer being the spider web between it all.
Enzo started to show up a bit.
They are still playing it, yeah. And Caicedo's
I think if they
played
had
great.
a proper striker, they'd definitely be a lot. Nicholas
you know
Jackson's
what-
finishing
Yeah.
so important. No, against Bournemouth, they should have had about 4-0 up in the first half.
He was good at the start of the season, Jackson, though.
Yeah,
I think he's just a bit of an in and out player. He
I'd-
can look really good, and you think, fair enough, he's coming alive, and then he just
he's
looks
obviously got
shit
something,
again.
but it's finishing support. But I'm going to put Chelsea low A.
I am going
High
to agree
B.
with you, and I would say a few months ago, Chelsea probably would have been in the S tier because
Yeah, they
when
were
they started
flying.
the season they were flying, but then they have seemed to dropped off a little bit.
Stamford Bridge fell down, unfortunately.
So-
Fulham and Bournemouth away.
I've actually just
Yeah,
typed
they
in
did all right.
Jackson and not Chelsea.
So Chelsea,
Chelsea in A.
I
Okay?
think that's generous. High B.
No, I think A's. I think
Low A,
A's.
high B.
I think Chelsea have had a better season than, Arsenal, Aston Villa, Brentford, who are in B.
Yeah, fair. give you that.
Just because of what they were expected of this season. You didn't know if they were going to be good or rubbish.
Yeah.
And yes, they spent $1 billion, but yeah, they are starting to gel, aren't they?
Yeah.
Let's go on to the next team then, which is now Crystal Palace. Yes.
They could be C or B, and I'd say B because of all the amount of players that they've lost in terms of Eze.
They haven't.
They've only
Eze.
lost
I meant
one.
fucking Elise
Really?
and yeah.
They just lost Elise.
Elise,
They're also
that was
sitting
it.
in 12th, 30 points.
They're just in the most Palace season ever.
Yeah,
It's
it's
so,
just so mid.
they B.
They are
They're
really
just
Palace.
performing.
B? I don't even think B. I think
C.
C is.
What, you think they're underperforming?
I just think they're so mid.
They're so boring, aren't they? They're
Well,
not.
Eze's
Yeah.
not really been hitting the same heights.
If B is
C,
performing,
They've got a few good results. Mateta's been good as of late.
They're just Crystal Palace.
I think they are. Crystal
They are
Palace.
just Crystal Palace.
We'll put them in next to their lovely rivals, Brighton. Yeah, up the Moyes. So next up is Everton. Yeah.
realistically, this has got to go C, just because they've.
If you take away the last 3 weeks, then it could have been a D or E.
Yeah, could
Well,
have been. They've,
obviously, yeah. You have
actually,
Moyes
to be honest, we could put them in D.
and Dyche. I
They
think
are
Moyes
still-
is probably S tier, and then Dyche is probably
E.
bottom tier. So
D for
D.
D for Everton.
Mate, they're in a relegation battle.
But I think
again.
I think they're already out of it though. They've won 3 of their last games, didn't they? In the Premier. Well,
they're
no,
10
they dropped.
points
They got a
above the
draw.
relegation zone right now.
If okay, yeah, okay.
all right,
For the
they've
last
pulled
4
themselves
games, for the
away.
last 4 games, they've been probably S or A in the Prem. But before that, they were like an E, D. So I give them a C.
So does that balance out?
C.
I think they probably will end up finishing on a C as well. They've got new owners, a new stadium coming as well. So maybe
They're just trying to stay up, aren't they?
they're going to be and I think they probably will. I think
10 points out of the relegation battle changes my mind. That's a C.
They're C.
They've pulled
I think
themselves away
Moyes
from
has-
that way more than
I think
Moyes
Moyes
has
just
helped
brought
them
that
out with
up.
that
Otherwise,
rating.
they could have been an ET.
I think you're right. Okay, interestingly, guess who's up next? It's Fulham.
We were A, but we have we keep getting shit
Beat
results.
Newcastle away.
Yeah, but then you look at us with other results in terms of like
Where are Fulham 9?
the thing is
Fulham
performance
36 points.
No.
performance wise, we are an A. This is definitely some of the like best battling I've seen from Fulham against like the top 5 teams. We beat everyone in the top. Sorry, not beat, but we did not drop any points against the current top 6.
Arsenal.
Yeah, we beat them
No, you
2-1,
You drew, didn't you?
2-2. What am I thinking of?
I can't remember.
Arsenal, you drew. Man City,
I'm
you
not a
lost.
Fulham fan here.
Man, you lost against.
No, I'm thinking of before Christmas though.
Yeah. I put them A. I don't think.
I would
we've
put
had
us A.
A or B, I think.
Good
for
season,
sure.
they're having a very good season.
You're
The only
4
problem
points
is-
off Man
Okay,
City
where
in
would
fifth.
where would you have
Yeah.
put Fulham at the start of the season?
A. Start of the season was
Yeah, I meant as in what position?
Oh, I mean with the team that we have, 7th or 8th as well. We would have surely.
Really?
We
You
should
think?
be
Wow.
aiming for Europe.
7 or 8 at the start
We
of the season.
should
Bear
be
in mind the
aiming for
team.
Europe.
So you think at the start of the season you thought they were going to finish above Man U, Man City, Chelsea,
Well, 7th or 8th. Come on.
Newcastle, Villa, Spurs, Man U, Brighton. No way. You would have thought Fulham 10th or 11th. So A.
Every single one of
I've
us
got
was
mid-table.
hopeful of European football.
Yeah,
at the
you're
start
always
of the season.
hopeful, but you're not saying you're definitely going to finish there, are you? Whereas Man City, you'd say you're definitely going to finish
But then
top
I
3.
look at the way that we played last year.
Yeah, but you're hopeful. You're hopeful. You're not saying we are definitely
Where do you
finishing
think you
Europe.
were going to finish?
10th. So the fact that we're in 7th end could have been higher.
I don't know why. Maybe I'm just delusional. I really did think we
A.
were going to be able to push for European football.
I'm saying putting Fulham in A.
Yeah, A is fair.
A's
So
fair.
I just
what
think
I'm
it's
saying, if
frustrating
you
that
look
we
at the
drop
teams,
points.
yeah, it's frustrating for every team to drop points.
Yeah, but against the shitters.
Yeah, but Bournemouth have done that too. We lost to
Yeah.
Leicester away when we should be in them and other games. But Fulham in 9th, and who are they behind? Villa or Bournemouth, aren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
we've
1
beat
point
Forest.
behind Villa, 4 points off Bournemouth.
We beat Chelsea.
Yeah, you're only-
5 points off City and Newcastle, sorry.
Yeah,
A.
A.
A is fine.
Hey, that is pretty impressive for Fulham.
And the away
Considering-
wins have been massive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
considering
I mean, last week's win against Newcastle.
a
And
few
Chelsea
seasons
away.
ago, you probably were tipped to go down under Silva.
City
he has
and
turned it
United
around.
away as well, losing by 1 goal and outperforming both teams. But unfortunately not coming out on time.
And of course, you did get that impressive 0-0 draw at home to Southampton. Let's not
That
forget
is by far the worst game I've ever been to, by the way.
A for Fulham. Yeah.
I loved that game.
And you beat
With
Newcastle
our
at
0 shots.
Yeah.
3-1.
3-1.
Next up, then.
Ipswich. No one expects them to. They're
D.
doing exactly how I'd expect them to do.
D for me.
Not D. I wouldn't say they're underperforming.
Mate,
They're just performing where
literally-
you'd expect
I
them to
don't know,
do.
though.
I would have said Ipswich would have been able to stay up.
Yeah,
The
but
way
they're
play
still
football.
good. They're still in it, aren't they? They're not.
No, not really.
Yes, they are. Joel, they're only 1 point off.
They are 3 points off Wolves,
3 points off, so that's easy to get up, aren't they?
but they are second bottom
Yeah.
with minus 20.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone expects them to stay up.
I did. I fully backed them to stay up at the start of the year.
I'm McKenna.
So you're saying they're really
Delap.
underperforming. D's like you're telling them they're
But
really
no one knew
underperforming.
Delap was going to hit the
Yeah,
same.
I'd give him a-
Season.
I thought they would do way better than what they're actually doing.
I'd give them a B or a C. They're just doing what you'd expect. They
I
might
think
still stay
D.
up.
I think D.
D.
I don't
D?
think C.
Mate, I don't think they're going to stay. I think they are like.
Okay, if they stay up, their season goes to an A.
True, but I don't think
Because
they're
no one
staying up.
expects them
They
to
just
stay
lost
up.
to Southampton.
Yeah, I don't,
That's a
mate,
good
I
point.
can't.
That's
I
hard.
can't see them being anything.
I'd put them in C just because I think they're doing what they should do. But if you
Two-
boys want to
two
go
votes
D,
for
I think D. I think they're going to stick him in D.
I think that's muggy.
D's looking empty.
I don't. They're in the relegation battle.
Yeah,
man.
but
If
where
anyone's
did
gotta
you
be in
expect them
these-
to be? Did you expect them to be in relegation battle?
No. I
You
thought-
didn't expect
You still can't say
Ipswich.
they've been having a C season. You know, with
What, they're just
Brighton
doing what
and
I'd expect them to do. They're still within staying up.
But
But
they're still-
Everton,
they're,
Leicester,
they're not doing
Wolves
what
and
Southampton are
Saints.
doing and being really shit, are they?
Southampton
They're
are
staying in it.
fucking-
So I had them on the brink. I had them finishing 17th this season.
But
and
they're not. What's staying in
18th.
it when there's only a 4-team battle for
Yeah,
getting
exactly. They're
relegated?
staying in it to stay up.
If it was like a 5 or
They
6
are-
team battle, then
would you
fair.
say they can still stay up? Yes. They're only 3 points off Wolves.
I don't think so. I think.
And if
D
they
is
stayed
a
up,
fair
they'd be a
assessment.
fucking C.
They're not an E.
If Ipswich stay up, you're saying that's a C of a season?
If they finish 17th,
Yeah, so stay up, which is their goal this season. Their goal this season, stay up. They're not going to... There is no way they're better... 15th above, they were nowhere near going to get near that. They are putting... They're doing what I'd expect them to do, staying in it. And they can still get a 17th place finish. If they stay up, they get an A or even an S.
I agree.
If.
But right now, yeah.
But
it's
right
if.
now-
Right now, they're 3 points
Are
off.
they
They're
going
doing
to stay up though?
Yeah, but they're not underperforming. They're performing as they I think
I
they
know
would.
more- hold on.
C. I'd put them in C. They're not underperforming. If they had beat Southampton on the week, and they would literally be level
Level
on
on points.
Yeah.
but they didn't.
They can still
And
stay
that's
up.
bottom of the
But
league,
they didn't,
Southampton.
and Wolves have a superior goal difference. I just don't think they're going to do it.
No, I'm not saying they're going to do it, but they're doing exactly what I'd expect them to do. They've obviously built.
But I don't think that warrants. You know.
a
All right,
C.
put them in D
Probably
then.
you- well, this one's easy. Next one is easy, all right, because it's Liverpool.
Yes.
Yeah, S.
S tier.
Let's talk about. We need to talk about.
Oh.
They have been
Boring.
impressive. They deserve to win the league.
Yeah, they're doing a lot better than what I thought they would do.
Although they got a really hard couple of fixtures up.
Yeah,
If
they are, but they're
slip up
seven
once
seven
more-
points clear, top of the table.
Yeah, that's
Just
true.
drop points.
They're not
to
gonna
Everton,
drop
though.
there.
And they got
They're
Arsenal.
A.
Is they playing Arsenal again recently or not?
They will play them again, but
Yeah.
yeah, they're A. C, S.
S, yeah. They're still S regardless
Sorry.
of what's coming up.
S. We're all in agreement with S for them. Leicester.
D.
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 Yeah. D.
Same debate as.
So yeah,
But almost arguably
I'd say-
Leicester have been worse. Than
Yeah,
Ipswich,
I'd say Leicester
but
being
they're a
worse than
point
Ipswich.
ahead.
D.
So, you know.
D.
Leicester are a team that could have tried
More in
to like come up into that 15th area, but they've just
I mean, they lost their manager at the start of the season, which is not always a good start.
yeah, and then they got Steve Cooper, sacked him, got Ruud van Nistelrooy in.
Yeah.
And I think Ruud said he's not happy there. But D.
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 D. Manchester City.
D. C. C.
No, C would say they're having an average. Man City have set their expectations so high. It's
They're
a C or a
still
D.
fifth.
D though.
They're still
They have
fifth, 2 points off Champions
Yeah, but they've
League.
massively underperformed with their squad. They should be top. Realistically, with the squad, the amount of money they spent, I'm putting them D.
Did you guys
They've
predict
underperformed.
Man City to win the league this season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So D.
Yeah, so they're massively underperforming. I mean, how many points are they off Liverpool? Like,
They're 16 points
yeah,
off
D.
Liverpool.
Wow, yeah,
D.
D.
I think D is a fair assessment, actually, given
D.
how strong they are.
If we're going off of pre-assumptions as well, which
And
we
for
are.
City
But
standards,
but their squad has not. It's not the strong squad that we once got to know.
Yeah.
You know.
They're all old.
And Rodri is clearly so vital to that team, and
Him being injured
his
doesn't
injured
help,
really does not help them.
I also wouldn't say they have an old squad. I definitely wouldn't say that.
Really?
Yeah, Haaland's young,
They've all aged
Foden,
together.
Savinho.
Yeah, the
Still
ones
young.
coming through. But I mean, if we're talking like,
Their back line is still quite young. Whatever, Guardiola, he's still quite young.
Gvardiol.
Ake, young.
I just meant some of their
Ish.
like unbelievable.
Diaz.
So De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva would be the only ones that I
Walker's
saw.
Stones, they have an
gone.
injured,
Walker,
injured
but-
centre back.
yeah.
you know.
Walker, Stones.
But anyway,
Ben-
D.
yeah.
D.
D is fair, and Edison's also made a few clangers, including
He got injured too.
especially in the week against
Yeah.
Madrid. Let's go to Man United.
D.
E.
Oh yeah, actually they.
E.
Yeah.
They're
E.
14th, mate.
E.
Man United are 13th
13th,
with
E.
29 points.
E.
Every other week, you think they're going to be
E.
pulled into the relegation battle?
Yeah.
I think the fact that Man United, you know, the biggest
Yeah.
club in English football, is in a relegation battle almost. I mean, they're not really. But
Not
they're
anymore.
close.
They're
They've-
not.
they've
They're
pulled
not.
it
But
back through,
they're an E.
The fact that we're even mentioning that in the same bracket, I think, you know.
Yeah.
E.
E.
That was easy.
And if there's any Manchester United fans that disagree, please let us know.
I don't think any
and
would.
why you think that. I think even they might agree. Get the
You've got
the
to.
Glazers out.
They're already out, but yeah.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are. They sold the club to Jim Ratcliffe, didn't they?
No, they
Yeah, they're
Oh, they
in
still
it.
own it.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
But they want the other meeting.
It was only a
Yeah.
percentage
And
still.
They
wasn't
want
it?
them all out now.
Yeah.
Yeah, just blame
Yeah,
them, guys.
E.
Right, so Newcastle.
A. Actually, no. B.
Mm.
B. That's really difficult because of the place that they're in. But
What are
then-
they in? Fourth?
They are in 6th, but they're
Sixth.
2 points
Yeah.
off Champions League.
They're
Yeah,
not far off.
but it's I'm
put
indecisive because of the way they keep getting.
B. They've had a
walked
good
over.
season.
I
B.
think A.
B.
But they keep
A-
getting walked over.
A would be an excellent season. No, they've only lost against Bournemouth and Fulham recently. I think that's quite
They've
went
fair.
on
definitely
was
had
it
a
an
slip up as
unbelievably
well.
good
And
run.
they're on the Carabao Cup final.
Exactly.
Oh, that's
And
true.
they have an FA Cup. B. Good season. They're having a good season.
We'll put them in B.
B.
And I think Newcastle fans would take winning Carabao Cup over being in Champions League.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
They need a
still,
trophy.
they'll finish in Europe regardless. But I think more than anything, they just want to keep Isak. Right, let's go on to, this is a pretty easy
And
one,
Gordon.
Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, S.
Yes.
S.
Yep.
Another
People
one. We don't even need to talk about it.
People
S.
say they're going to go down, so the fact they probably they have a very good chance to get Champions League.
I
don't
thought
think
Nuno
so.
was going to be like the first to get sacked this
Yep.
season.
I
Yeah.
think loads of people did. So S,
I thought they were going to lose half their team.
pretty
I
easy.
thought Gibbs White was going to get shipped off somewhere pretty quick.
But if you actually look at their squad, they did have some strong players, and it shows now. Because
Yeah.
they're third in
Yeah.
the league, 3 points off second.
I think that's pretty easy.
They could have lost pretty much their whole starting 11 at one
I think
point.
that's our last S as well.
I think,
Yeah.
I think you might be
Bournemouth,
right.
Liverpool, and Forest S.
Next up, Southampton.
E.
E. If there was anything below an E,
I mean, we all knew they were going to
be.
be in relegation battle and be in this relegation place, but to be on, what is it, 9 points you're on now?
Yeah.
Yeah. E.
I mean, we might just about beat Derby's record, but at times
I don't
think we
think-
have
For a club bottom, yeah. You
What
can't-
was their record? 11 points.
11 points.
Yeah, so you need one more win.
Yeah.
I think you'll get that. I don't think you'll.
It might
Oh,
come,
no.
it might come from.
We're
But-
still finishing 20th, let's be honest. We have
Yeah.
no chance of staying up. And in my time of supporting Southampton, I don't think there's been a worse or least enjoyable season than the one I've been watching
Yeah.
right now. And I
Yeah.
think that's only going to get worse when I go and watch Southampton Bournemouth this weekend.
So
Let's
E.
move on from them because I don't want to talk about how rubbish they are. Let's go
do.
on to Tottenham.
Tottenham
You do.
E.
E as well.
Yeah. Everyone,
Yeah.
they can keep bringing up this injury thing, but
Yeah.
teams like
E.
Bournemouth have had injuries and are doing fine. E.
Even Fulham have had
Where
some
are they?
injuries.
It's not
They're
the same
15th, aren't
way.
they? 14th, 15th?
They are
14th.
Below United.
Yeah.
14th, yeah.
E.
level on points with West Ham and Everton.
Yeah, they've been so bad.
They have been shocking.
I think E.
But again, you have to. Would you sack Ange?
No, because who's going to do a better job?
Antonio Iraola.
Would he
Would do a
go there
better
now?
job.
Though?
Maybe not. I think he would actually, but
Really?
I thought, to be fair, when they brought in Solanke, I thought they were going to have a hell of a season, but him getting injured doesn't help as well. I mean, they have got a lot of injuries, but E.
But even then, your point
Tottenham.
there, Solanke coming in, we're going off pre-assumptions. You would have assumed that they'd be
20
doing
goals.
way.
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
better
So
by
E.
now.
Kulusevski's had a good season. I mean, we could have said for our top 10.
Son,
But
I
other
don't
than
know what
that,
he's doing, mate.
Son's
He might as
awful.
well
The other
go.
day against Villa,
Yeah.
awful.
he's not been.
He
up
might
to
as well
it, has he?
watch Spurs rather than play for him at the moment.
But I'm happy to put them in E. That's good.
They are an E, and
Good.
we have next up West Ham United.
D.
Ooh. Yeah, D.
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 Flat D.
I mean, you say that.
Where are they?
How well did you tip them to do? Because they are sitting in 16th.
I'd argue with the squad they have.
above Wolves.
Kudus, Paqueta,
Could have
Bowen.
11th,
That's some of the
12th
best
area.
players I would have said in the
I
league.
think obviously Lopetegui, whatever his name is was not it, was he? Let's be honest.
Nah.
He's not the manager, but I would have said they would be in top half at least.
So did I. I thought they'd have a
So
good season.
I'm not happy with D. With
yeah.
Kudos, with
10th
players
or
they've
11th,
got,
12th,
they've
that
got
area.
Bowen, Kudos, Paqueta. They're all pretty strong players.
Ariola's decent in that as well.
They should.
They
be
got
doing a lot
Wan-Bissaka
better.
right back, decent.
Mm.
D for West
D
Ham.
is fair enough, and I think they could even be close to being an E.
Yeah.
Let's go on to the next team. It is Wolves, last team.
D.
D.
Maybe E.
It could
Maybe
be E, mate.
Because
They've been dragged into a relegation
Gary
battle
O'Neill-
with Leicester, Ipswich, and Southampton.
Gary Neal is the awful manager. I
Yeah.
had to sit for him. He is an awful manager that for some reason.
kept you up, kept Wolves up last season.
Oh my, yeah, but he kept us up. I don't know how the man did it. He got so lucky because he's the most boring manager I've ever watched. He's an awful manager, and he got found out this season. And that's the reason they're so low.
I think that's a fair assessment.
But Kuhn has kind of saved them. D, I thought they were going to push for Europe this season, maybe. If they
Really?
didn't have Gary O'Neill, I think they'd be a lot higher, but that people would have touted them to be like top 12 at least. So the fact they're in a relegation battle with players that they have and the amount of money these players are worth, like Kuna, D.
I'd give him D.
Yeah, I can't think.
I think if you take Kuna out of that squad, they'd probably be relegated. By
Yeah,
now.
they'd be fucked.
Mm.
They would be fucked.
And he's got release scores now, so
Yeah.
that could be
I'm
them
happy
next
with D.
season. Do you want to hear our list?
Yeah,
Yeah,
go on.
let's go through the list and we can wrap
Who's in
her
the
up.
A's? Who's in the
S
S's?
tier: Bournemouth, Liverpool, and Forest.
Yeah, happy.
A tier: Chelsea and Fulham. B tier: Arsenal, Villa, Brentford, Newcastle. C: Brighton, Palace, Everton. D: Ipswich, Leicester, City, West Ham, Wolves, and E: Man United, Southampton, and Spurs.
You happy with that,
Are
John?
we happy with that?
Yeah, is there anyone that we could bump up into A from B?
Villa or
Maybe-
Newcastle?
maybe
I think
Villa or
Newcastle.
Newcastle.
I think Newcastle could go to A, considering they're in the cup final as well. If you take that into account,
I'll bump
And
Newcastle.
they're still in the FA Cup.
Yeah,
And they have a
that.
good chance winning the FA Cup.
bump
should
Newcastle
we
up
bump
to A.
Newcastle up?
A.
Yeah. And I think I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty solid list.
Would you put
Whether
Southampton-
other people agree with us.
Yeah.
Southampton D?
Do you agree?
Would I
Let us
put
know in the
Southampton
comments.
D? What, because of us being where we expected to be?
Nah, but not performing that badly.
Honestly,
Yeah.
like I
Not a
said,
chance.
we're
You're
on
a high
9
E.
We're on 9 points.
You could be a low D.
I think we're a low E, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like some of the games I've had to watch,
Could be an F.
it's been dire. I'm sure any Southampton fan will tell you. Obviously, we swapped our manager, but our recruitment just wasn't good enough. So
Yeah.
you know.
That's fair enough.
E is a fair assessment, and hopefully we'll be S tier in the championship next season. But yeah, so that concludes our list.
That's pretty much us wrapped up
And
for
that
the
is,
day.
yeah. So Jordan Dicko, some great opinions there.
Some awful
and
opinions.
probably some not,
Listen,
some
Robinson.
not so great ones.
João Pedro being the 10th best PL player right now is awful.
Yeah, considering some of the players that didn't even get
Yeah,
mentioned.
Clivert didn't even get mentioned.
Let me tell you,
Suski.
Robinson,
Robinson definitely not third.
Captain America, the greatest.
Good.
We've God, the standard of the Premier League is dying if Antonio Robinson is third.
Well, he didn't make it into our top 3 in the end.
Oh, thank God for that.
And I think, probably most people would agree with that.
Yeah, all right. Well,
Apart from the Fulham Massive.
terrible, just terrible.
Thank you, Donald. I think, unfortunately, that is all we have time for today. But we will be back soon with another pod for you. But until then, we will see you later.
Thank you all.
Bye.